I want to welcome everybody to the ninth Investiture for the Lukudere Ojibwe Community College. We're going to start having people kind of filter in, as it is traditional for Ojibwe people. We always want the back of the room, and right now the back of the room is so packed it almost looks like there's nobody here. So if we could get things started with the welcome song from our host drum here, Badger Singers. That drum call will help bring everybody into the room and get us started in a good way. So, Badger Singers, take it away. If we could get everybody to stand and welcome our dignitaries as they come in. have a seat, please. I want to, on behalf of the Lacouture Community College, I'd like to welcome everybody here. Today is a pretty big day for us. This is our opportunity to conduct an investiture. An investiture kind of dates back to Old England, and it's the idea of empowering somebody to provide the leadership and to be responsible for us. It goes back to judges and kings and our more current manifestation in terms of presidents. And so I was supposed to have kind of an itinerary, but I don't have one. So we're just going to kind of make things up as we go. No, I'm kidding, because I see Jess over there freaking out. All right, so here's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to acknowledge our staffs, our flags, as symbols of our relationships with the different sovereigns. I'm also going to acknowledge some of the dignitaries that are here. I think everyone here is a dignitary in importance, but we want to show some respect for those who have other responsibilities as they take these commitments. And so, in our audience, and one of our participants is Senator Janet Bewley. She's a state senator for the state of Wisconsin. We have representatives from the College of Menominee Nation. Friendly competition, just putting that out there. We have representatives from the University of Wisconsin Superior, where a lot of our alumni end up going to school, and so it's a great relationship. And we have actually representatives from the Hayward Community School District. Again, another symbol of our relationship with the community, Mr. Craig Olson. We have representatives from the Hayward Area Chamber of Commerce as part of our connection to our community in terms of the mission of what our college is actually about educating people and making a commitment to our future. We have members of our tribal governing board. Rose Goki is a member of our council and the leadership for our nation. And then we have Impact 7. I don't know what that is. I think it's a dance group. And so they are here, and maybe they're the halftime show. I don't know. I also like to acknowledge the faculty that we have for our college. It's our faculty are the backbone of our institution, and they're the ones that create the magic that helps us enable our students to succeed and go forward. And so if the faculty could stand and be recognized. These guys are amazing. But we can't also forget that we are part of a team. And so I also want to acknowledge the staff that are present. We got Lou in the back, who is the master of all things and keeps this college going. But we've got other staff members who are present. So if the staff could stand and be recognized. These amazing people are dedicated to the future of our students and our children, and it's no small feat of what they accomplish on a day-to-day basis. On the platform, we have Dennis White, who will be doing our opening invocation, as well as the president of our Student Senate, as well as the president of our Faculty Senate. We have Dr. Robert Badal. Did I say that correctly? Excellent. And then we have our Board of Regents. And we got this guy over here who keeps following us around. We'll get to him later. But anyway, so now that we've acknowledged our dignitaries, I'd also like to do one more thing, and this is out of sequence, and I'm going to make sure Jess Schultz does not take off. Can I get Wanda Swager to stand? And can you have your children stand as well? The significance of this is that I wanted to do something specific about this. I served as the chair of our search committee in looking for our next college president. Dr. Swager, when he did his interview, he said one of the missions that he wants to do with this college is he wants to make this institution a safe place for people to come. And that too many times in the history of our people, not just Native but non-Native people as well, is that we find ourselves in situations where we're dealing with things that are outside of our control. And when we have to cope with those, it inhibits our ability to dream. And if we don't have the ability to dream, then we don't have the ability to take our future forward and make those dreams reality. And so he said he wants to do that. And he said he did this because it's based on the children that he keeps in his house and the woman that helps him keep him sane when he goes forward on doing these things. And so I wanted to welcome Mrs. Swagger and his children to our community. And I hope that you find us, that we are a safe place for you, and that we, if you give us a chance, we'll help your dreams come true. So I want to thank you for making the journey over here. The secret behind doing that, though, is that he's promised us for like the last 6 months that he had this wife and kids, wouldn't show us, wouldn't tell us, and there's something like 20 children here, right? And so I made him write down the list of these names, and I wouldn't let him near the phone book so he couldn't pick names out of a hat. And so now we got the proof. All right, so with that, I'm going to ask Badger Singers. Badger Singers is our host drum. It's our veterans drum, and they're comprised of people who are from our community. And I want to ask them to give us an honor song to get us started in a good way, in recognition of all the people that have come in today, all the children that have traveled so far. They came all the way from North Dakota. So, and there's a story behind that, but I'll save that for the reception. But if we could all rise and then have Badgers lead us in this honor song. Take it away. Miigwech for that song. I grew up listening to Badger singers, and it's a moment of comfort to be able to hear those men sing those songs. It's helpful. It's a healing thing for our community. That drum is the center of it's the heartbeat of our nation. And the men that sing on that drum, they are the protectors of our ways of life. Next, I want to introduce Dennis White. And I have to sheepishly admit that I forgot Dennis's spirit name. And so, Dennis, if you could just come up and save me. Dennis is going to give us a prayer so that we can get things started in a good way. Miigwech.
Bujo kinagoaga e ginawaga pia yegoma. Indana bujo winawasa nishinabe dug minawasa go kinagoaga e gap pia yegoma nunkum. Kegitsa na manjigu yang da pia yangoma. Besikwe ga gwejimit da pia yangoma. La gukejimag ni mishome sanan bin enemy yangeto o sa wise chige yangoma nunkum. In the name of Oasa. Apane dashigo na manjigu yang ke gagweji miwad. Ta gagweji magwa ni mishume senanik. Bineni mi yangi dwao o sawa chige yang manungum. In the nani tamdash mezananakwit. Mezananakwit nishinabe wijinikazo yan. Mi omash konikaning o dawasaga aganing winjibayan. Tibishku intisimug me winjago evade sa. Minawada shigo kinagoagai in the way maganuk. I'm honored to be here today. I was given tobacco not too long ago to be here. I also feel honored that I'm able to do this to invocations at our gatherings and to do prayers for young people and to offer blessings today is a great honor for me. It's my distinct honor to be here today. Many years ago when I was teaching high school at the school over in New Post and just down the ways away from here, one of my students recalled to me some things I often said in high school when I was teaching high school in the 70s. And that was that someday we would have our own college here. And someday I would be a teacher at that college. And now instead of their children, sometimes I teach their grandchildren some mathematics and some artwork that I do. So I'm really happy, and this college is our dream as a people, our dream as the Native people to have our own college, to have our own direction, and to have our own teachers, and so I'm really honored that I can be here today. Now I'll try to give a prayer in my language. Awasa neganazet manidu, udapanama oshenu awasema. Basic anini oshka bewas or pagitinamano awas osema ma agwaching iskwa mawanji dingyoma. Mida shigo where when he says you is you way back on manungum. Nibi none mananik guys pangisa nimishom sananik. You would de ishbemingijigung gema gaye ngojigo ma nishinabe a king. Udapana ma oshanamanu wapinta kujike yangoma. Mida shigo when he says you way back on manungum, Minawada shigo, Pegishigo, Kinagoagai, Mishom Sananik, Shwin the Madgosha, Kinagoagai, Kapia Jayegoma, Minawada shigo, Basic Aninioma, Besikwebizod, Nishinabe was in the Kazot, Mida shigo, when he says it's again the Tumanungum. Minawada shigo, Pegishigo, Nimishom Sananik Yabitamegama, Givita Gijik Wadesh Bimigijigung. Gonna bajiko everyday wabanu when you bawa don't go win watch and the shinabeg may win jago win sago misko gijik win baju gaye udapanama oshanamanu wapinda kujik ge yangoma me dashigo shawainim gosha kinago gaye we would day kinago gaye in the way maganak minawada shigo shawainim magosha kinago gaye nijanasi nanik me dashigo way when he says you way bakomanungum Minawada shigo, Pegishigo sa, Nimbago Saint the Mino over sa, Nimishomis. Mina Bamadisi wad, Kinago gay, in the way Magana, Kinago gay, ni Janasinanik. Winsa go gay, Chinishina beg, Gapi with the Kagiwara o, as it chige angomanungum. Mi da shigo gai ni wan anda ma nanik ni mi shome sananik ya bitame ima sa shawanung. Shawanung mani do on besano. Bin in the missionama o as it chige yanguma. O sa nimbago sa indamin. Bin the maushanama o sa bin wani mad nungum. Nungum gijik and dasu gijik gaye. Mi da shigo mi no ba madasi yang kinago gai ni no win sa oma. Bidashigo gai and Gagwiji Magongo Winawa, Nimishom Sananik Yabitamegima, and Gabianung. And Bagosain the Mino Osa, Agasi 2K Ginudin in Wa, Midashigo when he saw Shibime Yawa Gwin, Ongowino on Makigo Ma, Oma Skoniganing, Oman Dayan, Mizueoma Nishinabia King. Minowada Shigo Pega Shigo Osa, Mino Majita Yang Osa. Ni business yang. Minawada shigo apega shigo ni mishom sananik ya bitamege ma giwedenung. Bejik ni mishom is gonna budgigo ejike kenamin awasa ejine kazo to awasa gabibunakade. And besano bin in the missionama o wise chike yangama. In the name which kinago gae we benishi yang kinago gae in the way maganug o masung nungum. Minawada shigo we benishiwad. Ongo inawa chinishinabeg, ushki nishinabeg agaye. Mida shigo when he says you way bakumanungum. Minawa dashigo ni winandaman anik pangisa, ni mishom isananik, and go jigo ma, ishpemigijigung, ganabajigo, anongo nini widug. Minawa dashigo ongo winawa, ni mishom isananik, bemadasiwad imasa. Nibi Kong Manidu Gaye, Ongo Winawa, Nagana Benesi one, Gana Budjo Egoasian, Kaza Gwen, Ogamabanes, our Saogamabanes, Odapanama Shanamanuwa, Pinda Kujike Yangoma, Shawinem Gosha, Shawinem Gosha, Kinago Gai, Ni Janasi Nanik, Kinago Gai, Ongo Winawa, Anuki Waruma. Minawa desigo ongo winawa kinago gai piwadeg ka piwidu kage wada o wajechige yangomanugum. Minawa desigo pege shigo sa nimishomis nanik gonna winim awasa iwanini Asian number dabinitama winsa go Asian kazot we Besikwebizod, Asian Kazot and Shinabeg, me dashigo way when he says you way bakomanungum, Minawada Shigomino Dudadinitanu, Inuanini Wanuma. Me dashigo way when he says you way bakomanungum, in the Kitosa, Nimishomis, anan, as your Shwin Nimishinam, Nimishomis. As your Shwin Nimishinam, Giji Manidu. Me away Manidu, as your Shwin Nimishinam. In the keto sa Gijimanidu Ajashuin the Mishinam Misa Yumanik Wakiduyan Migwich Bizendawiyeg. Mr. Yu, I wanted to thank you for listening and for listening. Let me say my prayer today as I try to use some of the words that my mother gave me in my first prayers a long time ago. She always wanted to thank in the springtime to be thankful for us surviving the winter. So Ebenishiwad is one of the words she gave me to say. That means we survived the winter. Because long ago, and maybe sometimes even today, the winters are tough. And I know my mother and father lost 3 children a very long time ago in the 20s and 30s during the winter time. 2 sisters and a brother I never met or never knew for a long time. So she lost 3 of her 13 children a long time ago. So our winters were hard at one time. And even today, we do lose some of our own children to other diseases that didn't used to take our children long ago, the pneumonia and whooping cough that took my brother and sisters so long ago. We have other diseases that are attacking us. So we need to be vigilant and be strong and take care of our children and tell them every day that you love them and tell them, hold on to your children tightly. So help them walk even if they're not 6 months old only. Sometimes they're 40 years old and you have to help them walk. So I want to thank you for listening to me. Miigwech sana.
Miigwech. So as we get started with the formal process of this program, One is our chairman for the Board of Regents was unable to make it, and so we're going to have to change things up a little bit in the agenda, and I'll be probably talking way longer than I was supposed to. So I want to start things off formally. Buju, Nidwe Maganidug, Jewabedijnakas, Biju and Dodame, Akwawe Winning Nandunjiba. My name is James Schlender. I am the Vice Chairman of the Board of Regents. I also currently serve as the Chief Judge for the Lakudere Tribal Court. And it's my honor to kind of coordinate these events as we recognize the investiture for Dr. Russell Swager. Our college was formally recognized in 1982, and it came at the request of our members, and it was the idea that we as LCO, we knew that as traditional people, we needed to strengthen ourselves and to keep part of our presence in our history, in our culture, but also to strengthen our identity so that we could be successful people participating in society going forward. And so the mission of our college is to infuse our Anishinaabe traditional teachings in a way that modern society balances that together. And as you saw with our faculty and our students, those are not mutually exclusive, right? You can be a traditional Indian and you can still survive in this modern culture. What we needed to do is we needed to legitimize the idea of who we were as Anishinaabe people. This college helps us do that. This college is it's a gathering place, not just for people who are committed to getting the certificates in the 2-year programs. It's a gathering place for us to come together and have that exchange of ideas so that we can meet people from different backgrounds, that we can share ideas and our stories from our elders and pass them on to our grandchildren. And so in 1982, our charter was formed, and then I have to say I'm old enough to remember when we formed a college. And the classes were originally in our old high school, and then eventually we were able to develop enough success with the people that were in our college to bring us to this current location. And the room that we're in is named after Opwagan. His name is Pipe Mustache. And he was one of our more prolific leaders in the 20th century in terms of advancing and legitimizing who we were as Anishinaabe people. Our history reminds us is that our story is one that oftentimes gets confused with trauma, oftentimes gets confused with the struggles and the sacrifices that our elders made so that we can have this opportunity. But it also is a story of our resiliency and our strength. Pipe used to talk about that, and he used to, when he would speak at large gatherings, he would always say, "Excuse me while I speak my language." And he did that because our language is so powerful. It's the one gift that we have from our Creator, that we did not want to insult the people that were present, but we also wanted to make sure that we recognized our grandparents and our elders who either couldn't be there or had passed on. And my own grandmother, Pansy Crow, Squewapanukwe, used to tell me, she said that no matter where you go, always make sure that you speak your language, because never let anybody else ever let you lose the language of your grandmother. And so this college symbolizes that. This college is dedicated to that mission. You saw with the faculty, these students, these people, everyone's got a story about the college. So today we get to entrust President Swager with the responsibility to carry that mission forward and to provide our leadership. One of the things that President Swager has done is he's emphasized our need to establish and strengthen the relationship with other peer institutions. And so, as is customary when you have these major events, you have other institutions that want to send their acknowledgments and their congratulations and their thanks. And so there's a couple institutions that we need to spank. Whoo, there's a spike. There's a typo. All right. I'm a little bit nervous up here. Okay, this robe is warm. And but we need to thank, okay? And I suppose that's going to be in the paper, you know? It's not a Me Too moment, it's an Us Too moment now. All right. I want to recognize the College of Saint Scholastica, the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh. We have recently developed working relationships with them in terms of articulation agreements with helping us develop our resources for our students to have the ability to go to their institutions and benefit from the resources there. And so that we get to take our students that have this cultural infusion and take that and as we like cross-pollinate with different institutions, that we can do that as, we can help them as well. University of Wisconsin Superior, I've already acknowledged, we have articulation agreement with them. University of Wisconsin Eau Claire, of which our Dean of Students, we brought him home so that he can come back and help us be stronger. University of Jamestown, the Hayward Community School District in terms of doing what we call dual enrollment so that students who are in high school can start taking college classes and helps them get that step forward in a more comfortable, nurtured environment rather than just dropping them off and picking them up at midterm and semester breaks. Also acknowledge Hayward Chamber of Commerce in terms of helping us develop. The idea of going to school is not just coming in and taking classes. It's the idea of becoming something that you can be proud of, legitimizing what your contribution is. And the Chamber of Commerce is working with us to help us find jobs for our students when they graduate, helping them find niches in our local economy, in our areas in terms of strengthening that relationship. And so, and then we got Impact 7. No one still hasn't told me, and I'm wondering if they're a dance group, because I've seen that on YouTube. So, but I wanted to acknowledge them, and I wanted to thank them for the gifts. They've sent things out, and they're out available on the I want to say the foyer. I don't know what the hallway. They sent us gifts in terms of recognizing Dr. Swager. Next, I want to introduce our Faculty Senate President and our Student Senate President who wish to come up and say a few words. So with that, Dr. Michelle Haskins and Misty Jackson. You guys all coming up at once, or? I have no idea.
Aha, buju ana shenabedug, bamiju wani kwe nendigo ma inga nendodem, odawazage egening nendunjaba. Da ana shenabe moyan ja ikidoyang, mikwechkipi jaye gomakia, nemewenda moma ayaye nungum. Akoidash, ogima swager, kinetawachige, gekinuama gejig, omakia ayayang, odawazage egening. Gichiki kendaso wigamigon, gide ishbi enename go. Mi apachin menwendamong, mamawe, and nokiang. So on behalf of the faculty of the Lakudere Ojibwe Community College, I would like to welcome Dr. Swager, his wife, Mrs. Swager, and all of his children here to our community. The faculty, we look forward to working in partnership with you as we continue to prepare students to address the very complex issues of our time. You bring unique insight to the Lakudere Ojibwe Community College, which we know comes from your deeply rooted, grounded roots of the St. Croix Reservation, as well as your professional experiences. We sincerely thank you for recognizing the value of our communities and this institution. The faculty are deeply committed to the special place we call home, and we are absolutely ecstatic about continuing to work with you as we share both our hearts and our minds with you. Congratulations, Ogima Swager.
Uju, Benesio Gishigoko and Jinakaz, Magazi and Dondem, Mashkazibi and Dunjaba. I'm Misty Jackson. I'm the student senate president this year for the LCO College. I'm proud to honor President Swagger and welcome him and his family and his wife on behalf of the student body here at the LCO College. In your short time on campus, we've seen your inspiring leadership, willingness to connect with those around you, and your drive to grow the college. My fellow students and I share great excitement to welcome you here. We as a student body stand ready to work with you as we actively improve this college that we proudly call home. Miigwech.
Miigwech. All right, now it's my honor to introduce the vocation of the president. It's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. His name is Dr. Robert Badal. He has a PhD in theater from Northwestern University. Dr. Badal recently retired after spending 16 years as the president of Jamestown University. It's a private liberal arts college it's located in Jamestown, North Dakota. Since retiring, Dr. Badal and his wife have relocated to this area, and Dr. Badal has agreed to chair the college's fundraising advisory committee. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Robert Badal.
I think there's a speech here somewhere. Just give me a moment. This reminds me of a story from Northwestern many years ago before I was a student there. Adlai Stevenson was going to deliver a major address on the lakefront off of Lake Michigan. Suddenly a typical Windy City gust came up, blew his entire speech across the campus. And after a long pause, he looked up at the crowd and said, "So much better for you." He had no trouble speaking, so the speech was still a success. My first visit to the Lake Coudray, that's fine, I brought an extra just in case. When you've been president of a college for 16 years, you know, it's like the Scouts. You have to be prepared for anything. My first visit to the Lake Coudray was in the mid-'60s, and I have been blessed to be able to say that I have spent at least part of every summer since then here. A year ago, we built our home on the site of the old cabin that had been in my wife's family since 1925. After we moved into our home last summer, I noticed an article in the Record announcing the selection of Dr. Swagger as president of the tribal college, and was especially interested to learn that he was a fellow transplanted North Dakotan. So I invited him to lunch and let him know that I was here and that I would be happy to support him in any way that I can as he tries to build for the future of this important institution. The community college is fortunate to have a new president with strong higher education experience combined with a powerful vision for the future of this institution. One of the first things that I learned about the college was something of a personal surprise. It was a kind of sign to me. I think in one of our first discussions, I heard that the public theater was coming to the LCO from New York City, one of the major performing organizations in the United States. and certainly in New York and on Broadway, a major force for many, many years. And they were bringing a production of a play called Sweat, and I'm sure a number of you had the opportunity to see Sweat when it was produced here last fall. And I may have been the only person in Hayward to be able to say at that time that I had already seen the show in New York the year before. A brilliant Broadway production. The play made a tremendous impact on me. And it is basically a powerful tale of how macroeconomic forces can destroy our closest personal relationships. And just to think that that was happening here in Hayward was for me it was a joy. And I think anyone who saw that production here, which was equally fine to what I saw in New York, everyone knows that that was a powerful piece of drama on the stage. You see, for some reason, because I was a theater PhD at Northwestern, I just assumed coming to the LCO to retire, I would probably never see very much theater again, maybe in schools, maybe in community theaters, but maybe I wasn't going to get to see some of the professional kinds of productions that I was used to. And I was certainly proven wrong right off the bat. And the college was central to that, which I'm grateful for. I was thinking about this, and earlier, Professor White alluded in his prayer to the idea of the tough winters. And I had been thinking along the same lines. I guess we've endured a very difficult winter here. And North Dakota was no better, I can tell you that. Because we spent time in both places. But I thought of Shakespeare because I'm a theater person at heart. The literature moves me deeply. And I was thinking of As You Like It, the great comedy which is set in the Forest of Arden in England. And this is where Duke Senior and his court lived almost like a band of Robin Hood folk in the countryside because his younger brother had usurped his rule. And so Duke Senior was turned out and wandered into the forests for protection. And that's where he lived. And as the play opens, we realize that a long winter has ended, and Duke Senior is contemplating what it means to live in the forest as he observes the churlish chiding of the winter's wind, complaining like we all do at times about the harsh winter. And he goes on to say, "Sweet are the uses of adversity, which like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head. And this, our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything." Art and nature come together here at the LCO Ojibwe Community College. The floral motif that adorns these buildings, the quilts on the wall, these traditional quilts, the art that is on display throughout the building, These things symbolize the relationship between the forest and the college. This is where we study the native culture of the Ojibwe. This is where we cultivate good through education. It's an opportunity for a student like Misty to study her own culture while advancing her knowledge of a field of endeavor that is important to her career and future. That's what the LCO provides. As Shakespeare seems to say, the forest is our teacher. Having recently completed a 16-year tenure as a college president, I have a perspective to share on this occasion. Russell, there are easier jobs out there than being president of a college. That's where it has to start. This is a hard time to be a college president. On a national level, there are predictions from Harvard professors and others that up to 25% of all of the colleges and universities in this country are going to be gone in the next 10 to 15 years. For the past 2 years, Moody's Investor Services, which bonds a lot of higher education financing, has given a negative outlook to the whole category of higher education. Delivering a high-quality education is a very expensive enterprise because traditional schools often have 3/4 of their budgets devoted to personnel costs. It's a highly intensive personal business to be in, and that makes it one of the most expensive endeavors that one can imagine compared to almost any other business. Students and their families struggle to fund their educations. As we all know from reading stories about college debt, the difficult choices that many families have to make, and like nearly all industries today, there are disruptors, and those disruptors are changing the higher education model in radical ways, especially as online instruction grows and evolves into a much larger piece of the total education story. The demographic reality of a declining number of 18-year-olds is, for most colleges, also a significant problem. But even at tribal colleges, where the native population has increased by 39% between 2000 and 2010. Think about that in contrast to what's happening in much of the rest of the United States outside of the tribal areas. Native student enrollment is still static, according to the American Council on Education. So more young people, but not a higher attendance rate in college. That is a missed opportunity. And I know Dr. Swagger is going to make a tremendous effort to overcome that issue. As we say in the theater, this is the backdrop that sets the stage as Dr. Swagger begins his journey. We are here today to demonstrate that he is not alone, that his students, staff, faculty, alumni, and board all are with him. He has a vision to make this college a vital and growing part of this region through enrollment growth and program development. He cannot do this alone. His vision must be shared, understood, and supported by all. A college presidency is something other than a job. Vocation comes closest to any word to describe it. It is a life choice. No schedule, no description, no accurate roadmap exists for a college president. He or she is propelled by vision and unselfish devotion to education. Dr. Swagger will make this campus a more powerful force by focusing on things that add relevance to the needs of the students, teaching traditional culture alongside the study of meaningful academic degrees. He is expanding entrepreneurial studies for the campus and the community working together. He will continue to do that. His sustainable agriculture efforts will show the way to the wider community between the traditional ways of growing agriculture and what we currently see in evidence around us. And this fall, in a very exciting and important development, the LCO Community College will be piloting 2 new 4-year degree programs, one in business and one in social work. And I think this is a step that is so large and so significant. And the fact that Dr. Swagger has been here 1 year and he is already taking a step across that bridge to the future with these changes in the curriculum here at the college. As the campus is increasingly focused on communicating its opportunities within the region, enrollments will grow significantly, and Dr. Swagger's vision will become clear to each of us. But this will only happen if we walk alongside him, not behind him. It's a long, hard pathway that we must follow. Each will play a role. Some will become campus leaders. Alumni will step up to support the college financially through scholarships. The board will allow for calculated risk-taking, because without taking risks, you cannot change an institution for the better. The wider community will become more aware and more involved of what this college can offer, the connections, the relationships that can be formed here. Do your part. I know that Dr. Swagger will do his, and for that, I commend him and wish him the very best in his future here at the LCO. Thank you.
Notes. One is, I have to apologize to USA Today. My quote's already gone out nationwide. President Trump has already responded. All right, now we come to the meat and potatoes of this process. This is the whole reason why we got dressed up, is to do the investiture. And so, I got notes, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed as to what we're trying to work on here. So, let me do a couple things here. One is, I want to recognize the group of people that are behind me. We have a board of regents, and we'll just go in order. I'm the vice chair. Our chairman is actually tied up right now. He teaches at the school, and his dad wouldn't give him a permission slip to get out of school early, so he had to stay there and stay with the rest of the kids. So I'm going to sub in for him there. Behind me, starting on the, I guess your guys' left, we have Kyle Van Acker. We have Melissa Lewis. Gary Gerber. Daryl Coons Jr. And then Marie Basty, who was unable to be here. The requirements to be on a board of regent is to be an enrolled member of the tribe and to have, I think it's a degree or bachelor's degree. And so, you know, we met those requirements. The part that they don't ask for and what this group brings is a passion and a dedication to the mission of this college. And so it is, it's my honor to tell you that I've never served with a group of people as dedicated to the advancement of our tribe as I have with these regents. Our meetings are exciting, unlike other meetings that may be happening on the reservation. And it's, they're collegial, they're cooperative. We all have areas of expertise and we speak to them, but we also listen to and try to learn what the other gifts have. And so I want to thank them for the gifts that they bring every month and in the leadership that we provide. So I have a couple of notes here. All right. So we're going to go in order because I don't have an agenda, apparently. Some people may disagree. So here's what we're going to do. We have actually some words from the governor. The governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers, has sent a certificate of commendation, and I want to ask Senator Bewley if she'd be willing to come up and read that proclamation or that commendation. And here, I believe is for you.
This is it. Thank you very much. I want to thank each and every one of you for giving me a moment to speak. I acknowledge all the elders and all of the wonderful people who are so dedicated to this community, to this college, and to the education of all of our youth. It is obvious that I am not the senator in this political district. I'm hoping that you'll allow me to blur the political boundaries of my district and the one that is here. And I respectfully acknowledge Senator Jerry Petrowski, who is the senator of this land, but you are in my heart, and I hope you'll allow me to blur those borders. This is from Governor Tony Evers. Governor Evers could not be here today, but I can tell you with great pride that he gets it. He understands so much of why this college is so important. And I know that he really regrets that he cannot be here for the investiture of Dr. Swager. I bring his regrets, but I also bring these wonderful, wonderful words of his commendation. Whereas Russell Swager has served in various fields of academia for over 28 years, and whereas Dr. Swager is an enrolled member of the St. Croix Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa, and whereas Dr. Swager has accepted the position of the president of Lakoutere Ojibwe Community College, whereas Dr. Swager has demonstrated a comprehensive plan for educating the citizens of Wisconsin and the members of our tribal nations, and whereas Dr. Swager's plan to advance the mission of the Lakoutere Ojibwe Community College parallels the commitment to excellence exhibited by all the academic institutions in our great state of Wisconsin, now therefore I, Tony Evers, Governor of the state of Wisconsin, do hereby congratulate Dr. Swager and extend my best wishes to him for continued success in his college presidency. Thank you very much.
I'm going to ask for assistance from one of my fellow regents as we go through the heart of what we're trying to work on here. Mr. Coons, could you please approach? While he comes up here, I also want to acknowledge one more person in our audience. And it's my honor and my privilege to acknowledge my friend, colleague, and one of our leaders of our community, Mr. Darrell Coons Sr. He may not look like it, but he's got a couple years on this reservation. He actually served in World War II. And to sit with him it's a gift to hear the stories that he has. All of our elders carry a lot of stories, a lot of memories from our reservation, and a lot of memories from the different things that we've overcome or have encountered. Darrell he's at a Regent Emeritus, and he has something like 20 or 30 years invested in this college, and asked for us to let him free up from these monthly meetings, but he's on campus almost as much now as he was then. So it's an honor and a pleasure to see him every time. So bear with me as I work through this. I'm trying to, we have a lot of notes from different speeches and people. So this is the kind of the gist of what this is the reason why we're here. And an investiture, as I mentioned up earlier, is the ability to trust somebody with the authority to give us the guidance and leadership to carry a mission. For us as traditional Anishinaabe people and the people of Lukudere, we have different regalia and different things that help us carry our mission going forward. And we have different things that have a significance that is unique in their representation. One of those things is this staff. This staff was gifted to this college many years ago, and staffs in our tradition and our culture carry a lot of stories. And right now I can't think of them because I'm kind of nervous. And so, but I want you to know that these eagle feathers that are on here, the eagle feather is the, for lack of a better word, it's like the communication between us and the Creator. And those eagles, when they hear our prayers and they take them up to our relatives, and they're very important to us. And so when we have them on here, they serve as a protection for this staff, and then this staff protects this building. And it protects our staff and our students and our hopes and our dreams. And so as we do this, I want to have Mr. Coons hold on to this. And Mr. Coons, Jr., is a retired law enforcement officer who has served the state of Wisconsin, the state of Minnesota, and in service of our tribe as a law enforcement officer for over 30 years. And there is never a finer person to take on travel because this guy knows everybody and he knows how to get everyone to talk. I mean, it's like this cop thing. So Mr. Coons is going to help me hold that staff as we get ready to pass this on to Dr. Swager. Dr. Swager, can you please approach? Yeah. Everyone's stuff is here. All right. So this is kind of strange. I'm a judge, so I'm used to like swearing people in, and I don't know if I'm supposed to raise his right hand, but Dr. Swager, I am honored on behalf of the Board of Regents to present with you this staff as a symbol of the investiture of our college and entrusting it to your leadership and to your vision. I ask that you honor this staff, that you honor the commitment and the sacrifice of the people who have come before you. You serve as our 9th president, and for the 8 presidents before, they have taken on this challenge and left you this institution in this place so that you have this opportunity to take us into the 21st century. But also as Ojibwe people, and I am beyond immensely proud that we have a Native person with a PhD who was able to rise up and accept this presidency. And you're from St. Croix. And even though St. Croix and LCO have separate stories in terms of their formation, we're all one family. And so I ask that you look on us as you do and protect us as you do your family, and that you take this staff and that you provide us the love and the support that you've demonstrated in the short time that you've been in this position. Mr. Coons, can you present the staff to Dr. Swager? Second, on behalf of the community here, we have a medallion that has been made for you. And this was made by Chimakwa Nibiwa Stone. Did I say that right? Nibiwa? Nibiwe? Nibiwe? And another part of our regalia is that these medallions are made, with our hands, and they invest in us with our spirit, and it's a show of our love and our commitment. And so, as you carry this staff with us, I want you to know that we're also giving you our heart. And so I want to give you this medallion in service of your future duties as president on behalf of the community of LCO. And while we give that to you, we also want to make sure that your family understands is that we are welcoming them into our family as well, and that we look forward to having them here. And I am still going to test you on the name of all your kids when we're done. And so with that, I want to turn that over to you.
Thank you, everybody. First, I'd like to ask an important group of people here at the college to come up to the stage and accept a gift from me. And that's Andy, Randy, Lou, Kim, Chris. Come on in, Chris. Come up to the stage.
President's called you.
These folks have been busting their humps for the last couple of weeks getting everything ready. We've had events every night, and they've had to move furniture in, move furniture out, make food, and they're the ones that are the heartbeat of this place. And so I wanted to recognize them and give them the recognition they deserve. So please give them a round. I also like to thank the Badger Singers for your good songs. Thank you to the Board of Regents, Senator Bewley, my friend Jim, Dennis White. He always brings good energy to everything that we do here, so I really appreciate him. And so I know that LCO is a home to me, but it's not my home. This is not my place. I'm only a guest in this community, and so I want to thank the LCO people for welcoming me and accepting me and giving me this important responsibility. I'll do the best that I can to make you proud and to do everything in honor and respect of the way that you do things here. And I so much appreciate the kindness that you've showed my family and the welcome that you've given me in the time that I've been here. So miigwech to all of you for that. And as an individual in this world, you never get to where you are unless you have lots of help. And so I want to begin by recognizing some people that are here today that have been very important to both my personal and my professional growth. And so I'd like to begin by recognizing my father, Russell Swagger Sr. Next to him is my Auntie Donna Mishler. And her son, my cousin Robbie. And a fierce and staunch advocate for St. Croix education, Karen Washington. A lady who changed the course of my life for the better. Be forever in debt to her. Just like just such a dear friend to me, Miss Phyllis Lowe. And then all of my kids, you saw them earlier, you met them earlier. They're at home taking care of mom and all the things that are important to us while I travel here and back every week. So thank you, kids, for coming here and making the long trip last night and for taking care of your mom. And then in the back is my cousin Jenny, who's a St. Croix tribal member. She was real important in my life because she took care of all the bullies that were picking on me all the time. So, and then her partner, Jeremy. My brother, Warren. He was kind enough to break out my front tooth when we were kids. Jumped on my head when we were sledding. My Uncle Tony. And my Auntie Sis. Been like a mother to me and helped me when my mother was passing from cancer, so I'm real grateful to them for opening their home and helping my mother to make her journey. Then we also have my Uncle Toby here in the front. And his wife, my Auntie Sue. My adopted brother, Pat. My wife's brother, my brother, I text him every now and then to see what's happening politically up in the Turtle Mountains, Ernie Azure. And then another adopted brother and sister, Dr. Byron Baker. And my sister, Sherry Baker. And last but not least, I think that it's important for you to know that we're really in the presence of somebody who's been very important to tribal higher education for almost 50 years. His name is Dr. David M. Gipp. He's in the front row here. But he helped me once when I went out to North Dakota and became a mentor to me. And we've had many good successes throughout our career. And this is a gentleman who, when he wanted to get a meeting with the people in Washington, D.C., they didn't have money for cabs and rooms and all those kinds of things. They had enough money to fly out there. And when the people closed their doors and wouldn't meet with him and his colleague slept in the hallway in the Senate building and literally blocked the doorway so that people would have to deal with them when they came in the morning. And so that's the kind of leader he is, and that's the kind of great things he did. He's a true warrior in a lot of ways, and right now he's making a pretty good recovery from stage 4 cancer. And so if you all could honor Dr. Dave Gipp. I also want to thank the St. Croix tribe, the LCO Tribal Governing Board, and I know I saw Rose here. Rose is always keeping me informed about the projects that we work on together, and I really appreciate that. Our Board of Regents, all the members that are here today, there's many LCO elders here today. I want to thank you for being here. And specifically, I'd like to acknowledge Susan Asan, who's in the back here. She's been a good friend to me. Deb and Larry Baker, I'm not sure if they're here. I haven't seen them. Nancy Cooper, Michael Clarquist, who's in the back. Michael's mother, Ramona Morrow. Karen Bright, I think, is right there. Jessica Wagner Schultz. My executive council. And Faith Smith, who stopped in and saw me yesterday. And these people are all important to the success of our college here, and so as Ojibwe people, it's important to point people out. And it's especially important because what makes this college go around is the staff, faculty, and the students that are here today. So thank you to all of you for the work that you do every day, because I know I push you hard, but you guys never back down and you always accept the challenges willingly. And because of that, we've seen great successes. So I want to thank you all for that work. And I'm not going to ease up on you, so you will grow and you will mature and we will become sophisticated and you will help me to become sophisticated. And that's not an easy task to do. You can just ask my wife down front here. So, welcome to the beautiful and amazing Lekudere Ojibwe Community College campus. Thank you for attending such an important event for our college and our tribal communities. We serve primarily Ojibwe people from 5 tribal nations in northern Wisconsin, including the Lekudere Ojibwe Nation, the Bad River Nation, the Red Cliff Nation, the Lac du Flambeau Nation, and the St. Croix Nation. The programs we offer reflect the needs of our tribal communities. We survey our tribal nations annually and throughout the year. Sometimes we create special short-term programs or we develop full certificate and degree programs depending on the needs. We're also an open campus, meaning our doors are open to all other people seeking to earn a high-quality education from an organization that emphasizes the importance of learning Ojibwe language, culture, and knowledge. We currently serve approximately 300 students annually. Our student population is increasing as we make changes and improvements under our new leadership. And we're basically a commuter college right now, but we aspire to make big changes to meet the needs of our community. I'm an enrolled citizen of the St. Croix Chippewa Indian Tribe of Wisconsin. I was also very excited to learn that both my grandfather and great-grandmother were enrolled here at LCO. I love the people of LCO and all the tribal nations that we serve. I've been welcomed by everyone I have met, and I receive great support whenever I need it. I'm very grateful for this amazing opportunity to be service to my Indian relatives. Once upon a time, around 2005, I was selected for the president position here. In the end, I elected to keep my position as a vice president in Bismarck. I was torn by my decision not to accept the position and often wondered what types of contributions I would have made had I accepted the position. So approximately 11 months ago, this community selected me, and I was very grateful to have another opportunity at this position. I felt like I couldn't get here soon enough. The last 11 months have been a whirlwind of networking, learning, meeting, and making meaningful changes and improvements. My team and I believe we needed to position the college for a strong future. So we spent time mending fences, reconnecting, engaging our community, sharing our message with anybody that we could get time with, and assessing our needs. I need to especially thank Karen Bright for devoting her time to me to get me connected. We spent a great deal of time traveling, eating at gas stations, and locking the keys in the car. I think she locked him in the car, but she says I locked him in the car. But we called a locksmith that day, and the locksmith, after he opened the car, wasn't getting paid soon enough, and so he threatened to call the police. So I took out whatever money I had in my pocket and paid him, because I didn't think that would be a very good headline, that we got arrested because we didn't pay a bill. As we had time to plant our feet on solid ground, we started tackling issues that needed our immediate attention while plotting out strategies for tackling issues that were more mid or long term. We accomplished many things in our first 6 months together. We had a community celebration recognizing our team accomplishments, and it was hard to believe that we had actually covered so much ground. I must thank the students, faculty, staff, Board of Regents, and others that helped us to achieve our goals. We work as a team here, and we get things done as a team. We also have many plans for the futures. In July, we'll begin our master facility plan. We worked hard and secured an $85,000 grant from Cargill, a donor to the American Indian College Fund, and this grant will fund the entire master facility plan and will not have to come out of our budget. We are planning right now to build a 100-bed single-student dormitory, enough room for 50 female students and 50 male students. We plan to build a 48-unit multifamily housing unit for families to have a place to live while they go to school here. We have a volunteer fundraising board that we started, and that consists of Dr. Bob Badal, who you already heard from, Gary Gerber, who's also a Board of Regents member, and Mr. Kevin Bushnick. I'm not sure if he's here today, but they have been very helpful in getting us to raise money so that we don't have to be at the mercy of federal funds or enrollment declines and those things. We can be self-sufficient. We are building partnerships with the Hayward Rotary, the Hayward Chamber, to offer training and other assistance with economic development and professional development as key components of what we do. We're building scholarships, and thus far we've raised nearly $300,000 in scholarship assistance from private donors and stakeholders. We're offering 2 first ever bachelor's degrees this coming fall semester in business and human services, which are 2 great needs in our tribal communities. We're offering a new tribal lay advocate program to give lay persons the ability to advocate in tribal courts for other tribal citizens. And Jim's working on that along with a legal studies program. And we've got a lot of power behind that right now. And so you will see in the future the opportunity for our young people to get follow in the footsteps of the judge and get an official law degree. And so I thank you for your work on that. We are reinventing our allied health programs and opening a new and improved LPN and ADN programs, along with pre-nursing, CNA, and medical assistance, which will follow in about a year. The other programs that I mentioned will begin this fall. We are planning to open an athletics program, and we are preparing to run a promotion to help us determine a team name and a mascot. We believe that doing that will open the doors for so many students that either aren't going to school right now or maybe going to school somewhere else. And we know that if they come here to this college that they'll be more successful because they'll be here at home and they'll have their social support systems that they depend on when times get hard for people. We have authorized the first ever tribal charter school in Wisconsin that will focus on math, science, and technology programs with an emphasis on Ojibwe language, culture, and history. That was not an easy feat. We've increased enrollment from the previous year. This is the first increase in 8 years because in the past 8 years our enrollment was steadily declining. We went from about 600 students down to we're at about 300 students right now. We've restructured our recruitment efforts and our team to be able to cover more ground and improve our messaging and discuss our new value to prospective students and parents. We've worked hard to create a sense of true community. We are an absolute community-driven college. We respond to the community needs quickly, and we're flexible to make sure that we can meet the demands of the community. We have a proposal into the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction for us to offer GED and HSED programs right here on our campus by us. We will eventually offer vocational trades programs and other educational opportunities that will help us to attract new students that are currently overlooked by the limited offerings that we have. And every person deserves the opportunity to earn a quality education. We are partnering with the LCO Behavioral Health Unit to begin offering mental health services here on our campus by a professional counselor and a social worker. Right now, we are limited and our students often go without the help they need. And if they're running into problems where they're feeling suicidal or they're having marital problems or whatever their issue might be, those students often leave and are not able to complete their education. So it is our responsibility to make sure that those services are available to them here, not have them have to carry those burdens on their own. We are working with partners to offer childcare and transportation services. These issues also present hardships to our students, and we want to alleviate the stress they experience by offering these services to them. In the beginning, we moved classes from Washburn back into Bad River and Red Cliff. These moves were necessary to give our students easier access to education in their communities. So the students in Bad River and Red Cliff were driving an hour each way to go attend classes in Washburn, and we've removed those barriers by moving back into those communities, and we've seen double and sometimes even triple enrollment in some of our programs by making that easier for them to access. We've worked tirelessly to develop partnerships with other colleges to help create pathways from LCO to their colleges so that if students are interested in earning an advanced degree beyond what we offer, they can get that opportunity. They can either go to that school or they can stay right here on site and finish a bachelor's program and soon even master's programs without having to leave home. So we're real excited about our partners, and some of our partners are in the audience, as was alluded to earlier, and so we're real grateful for those partnerships, and we're real grateful that you took the time to be here today. And thank you so much for believing in our students and believing in what we do so that our students can have the opportunity that they deserve. So thank you so much. And I want to recognize a real good friend of mine. He and I started, he started I think about 6 months before I did. We're the only two tribal colleges in the state of Wisconsin. And I attended his investiture a few months ago, but his name is Dr. Paul Trabian. If you could stand to be recognized. it's so good and so refreshing to have a partner like Paul, because Paul's every time Paul's thinking about something, he always thinks, how could I work with LCO on this? And he always talks to me and catches me in the hallway or wherever we're at, and asks me if I'm interested in doing these things. And so anything that we can do, even though we're soft competitors, anything that we can do to improve Indian education, that's what we're all about. So thank you, Paul. Our students are very important to us. We will continue to work every day to improve the learning environment for them. We very much appreciate our faculty, and we work every day to improve their ability to teach more effectively and have the access to the things they need to do their work. We very much appreciate our support services employees, and they too deserve the very best. We will continue to be here for our communities, our elders, our youth, and all of our partners. We're in a very strong state right now, and we will continue to grow stronger by the day. We are a beacon of light in our tribal communities, and we reflect the very best that tribal communities have to offer because we are in their communities. I was told by my Board of Regents that having an investiture ceremony was my choice. So people that know me, which is most of you, that I don't like the spotlight shined on me. So I thought long and hard about having this event today. And eventually, my team and I decided it was important because we could use this event as an opportunity to get people through our doors, to get old friends to come back and check on how we're doing, and to shine a big positive light on the many important things we are working on and the future we will create. So that is how I justified the importance of having such an event as this. Throughout this week and into next week, we have had various activities to draw people here. We had a successful week. Dennis White taught math using Ojibwe beadwork. Dolores Bodine talked about the founding days of the college. Mike Scott, a native Canadian, shared his story about drugs, alcohol, crime, and violence and how it impacted his life. Mike Heim, one of our faculty, discussed his trip with students to Costa Rica, and we celebrated our alumni with a gathering event last evening. And next we will host our first annual golf outing fundraiser. And on May 23rd, we will graduate an amazing group of 41 students. I had an opportunity to have lunch with them the other day, and they have made me proud to be the president. We have a great deal to do, but we welcome the challenges, and we look forward to each day and what challenges that day may bring for us. We move forward unafraid and undaunted, and we have the very best and brightest leadership, and we love winning. So we invite each of you to visit us by coming here, monitoring Facebook, or checking our website occasionally to learn about the exciting things that we're doing. I'm committed to this beautiful college and our amazing Ojibwe communities, and I look forward to each new day. In closing, I may misspeak here, but did we put donation cards out? Okay. So I'm on the right track. In closing, each of you has a donation card and an envelope on your chairs. Please donate what you are able to if you feel moved by our mission and if you want to be a part of a positive and winning team. Each penny you donate goes directly to student scholarships. We love our students, and we know you do too. Thank you for traveling here to celebrate with us today, and we very much look forward to visiting with you in the future. Thank you, everyone. Miigwech.
We're going to do it. If everyone can stay standing, I'm going to ask Badger Singers for an honor song so that we can commemorate this evening in a good way, or this day, this event. We caught them off guard. They were all enraptured with Swagger's speech. Be seated. As we get ready to close things up here, there's a couple of more points of order that we need to take care of. One is the college wants to acknowledge the contributions of some of the people that were here today, and so we have a gift for Dennis White for giving our invocation. You just come up, or I can toss it to you, however you want to do it. College also wants to give a gift to Dr. Robert Bedal for his speech and for his future contributions in fundraising. College would also like to recognize Senator Bewley for taking time out of her day to come down and share this day with us, and for her leadership that she's been providing over the years. All right, I got a note. There's a challenge that says that I can speak 45 minutes longer than Dr. Swagger. Those who know me, challenge accepted. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I want to wrap things up. We're going to a couple more things, and then we're going to wrap up this event. This college has been really busy this week, and so I really do want to share on behalf of the Regents. I want to thank the staff and the faculty and the students and the people and the guests that have come through this week. It's the month of May is always tough because there's so many things going on, and so for people to take time out and to share in us in these celebrations, it's really an honor. And this college is better when it's got people in it, and you add your smiles to the excitement that we have. Specifically, I want to recognize Jessica Wagner-Schultz. She's in the back somewhere. As you look at her, she is starting to relax. She has been the coordinator of ceremonies for the week, and also I want to recognize Karen Bright and her efforts to try to make everything work together in a cool way. It's I say that cool because we don't get that word. It's like trying to herd cats, right? You're trying to get everyone kind of moving forward, and so there's a lot of energy that went in to try to make sure this event went through. And so if we could just give them a round of applause for their sacrifice this past week. And so one more recognition, and then we're going to be out of here. Up in front by us is my brother and my fellow combat veteran, Rusty Barber. He's a longtime leader of our nation, and he's a retired Army, and he has taught me, and so I'm going to borrow some of his words, that as we close things up, he would always say that I want to ask for our prayers to look over our families, and that we took time out of our day to come here, and we left things to someone else, and that we hope that your travels are safe, that you find your home as the way that you left them, and that you have a safe travel, and that thank you for your contribution and for sharing your time with us today. And so with that, I want to ask everyone to rise. We're going to have a traveling song from Badger Singers so that we can send us off in a good way. We have a reception afterwards. We have some great food. Chris Hedworth, the guy in the red sweater up here, the guy is an amazing cook, and he not only does he cook amazing, he takes things that are traditional and infuses it into the cuisine, and so that you have an opportunity to not only eat healthy, but you get to celebrate healthy. And so please, if you have an opportunity, hang out for a little bit and eat some food with us. And then also, if you could remain standing as we do this honor song, the procession and the dignitaries that we have here, they're going to mahjong out the door here and let us enjoy the weekend. It snowed while we were in here, just so everybody know. So, Badger Singers, take it away. And I want to thank everybody for coming. Miigwech. I don't know who this was.